Hello and welcome to Macau in Transition. I'm Tian Wei. This program is celebrating the 20th anniversary of Macau's return to China. Nobody is going to argue against the importance of education. However, what kind of education? There are tremendous science and technological changes going on in the world. Meanwhile, there are also circumstances changes here in the Greater Bay Area and also internationally. So many wonder, what kind of education is available to the young people in Macau? On that, we are going to present you this special program today, in which we are going to talk to university professors, students, as well as presidents of universities here in Macau. First, let's meet Song Yonghua, the rector of University of Macau. The University of Macau is the largest comprehensive public university here in the special administrative region. Let me ask you, Macau is in a transition. It should diversify its economy. What does that mean for university education, particularly University of Macau, the only comprehensive public university here?
First of all, because as a university, our main job is to nurture talents for Macau, Greater Bay Area, and beyond. Of course, first for Macau. So with those change of diversified economy, what kind of graduates Macau need? Not just now, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So what skills, which disciplines, and we need to think, and we need to plan, we need to adjust, we need to create programs in undergraduates, masters, and PhD.
I know you already have some blueprint. Tell us more about the details of this blueprint.
Of course, is what discipline, yeah, and we need in the face of the new technology. So, for example, we start to introduce new programs in data science, in artificial intelligence, and in interdisciplinary area. Secondly, of course, we need to provide the students with the skills, the values they need for the future in terms of what we call here whole personal education, and which included their international perspectives and global mindset, multicultural communications.
All of this easier said than done. Where do you think is the starting point? I mean, even if, when you think about it, you try to plan, but 10 years from now, nobody knows, right? The technology development, science, as well as the situational changes here in the region is beyond imagination. The past 1 or 2 years already a demonstration of that. So what does that mean to you as an educator?
The purpose of education is not just for students to find a job right now, is to provide those skills and many others they can depend on for the future. For example, whether our students studying humanities or social science, the first thing they need to be able to adapt to the changing world, I think, is the number one important in our education. Number two, to think independently, critically.
Can you give me one specific example? You know, you talk about critical thinking, you talk about the multicultural communication. How you and your colleagues have been doing that?
We adopted the residential college system, and within residential college, and we provide whole personal education, cover, of course, health living, cover leadership and service, and through not just programs, not courses, and through many activities. So, for example, for our students to understand better how our country developed for those past 40 years, we send our students to not just Beijing, not just Shanghai, not just Guangzhou, those developed areas. We send them also to Guizhou, northwest of China, and Inner Mongolia, for them to understand there are still a lot of areas we need to develop. So with that background, for example, they see our country has made a big progress, but we still need to work hard.
You know, one of the things I really want to ask you is that, given the recent changes in the Greater Bay Area, many wonder what has been the way that the young people here in Macau been educated, and when they come to university, what can they expect in terms of trying to find the balance between their admiration of globalization, participation into it as well, and also their relationship with the mainland, and of course the pride that they should and deserve to have about their hometown. So how do you think university, is it too much, first of all, for university to bear in mind? What do you think about these very different areas about how students should be cultivated?
First of all, of course, our basic education, including primary and high school education, already provided them some foundation. For example, in understanding the development of Macau, and particularly after the return to China, the past 20 years, they have seen the success of Macau. As a university, we have to go beyond that, of course. And when they come to the university, and we need to get them to see not just their feeling, but what is one country system, what is the basic law. More than that, and we need to get them to understand their own career also heavily depends on how Macau integrated into Greater Bay Area, and the relationship of Macau with our motherland. We have internship programs within companies in Greater Bay Area and beyond. And we have exchange programs with mainland Chinese universities.
University of Macau could nurture so many talents, but whether these talents will be able to have access to stay in Macau or have places where they can go to in order to work for the future of Macau, it's not necessarily in your authority, but rather you have to work together with other educators here, with the special administrative government, to see how to attract talents who do not necessarily have a Macau resident card. So, Professor Rector Song, from your perspective, what needs to be done?
We hope that the Macau government to review the work permit system and to enable some of the talents we nurtured here at the University of Macau, and also the Macau lead as red law, they can actually stay, contribute. And the second, and more than that, I think Macau government, as they already pointed out, need to diversify the economy here, and for the sustainable economic development of Macau into other key areas in addition to the tourism and gaming industry, like fishery finance, like a creative industry.
Macau is having a diversified economy. That is the potential. But what do you think are some of the major areas the University of Macau could really contribute in terms of brainstorming as to where the future direction is? I know you have a specific nationally designated lab on smart cities and smart city planning. So, Professor, will that, together with some of the other areas, be some of the focus of your attention?
To make Macau, first of all, to be a smart city, as a better place for the citizens to work, to live in, a better place for our tourists come to visit. So the Macau government decided, and smart city is the way forward. So as a public university here, and so we established this state club to contribute to the development of smart city in Macau, and also in Greater Bay Area, and also for China as a whole.
Recently, Rector Song, things happened in the surrounding areas of Macau, and people saw young people dissatisfied and took extreme actions. To you, as an educator, what does that say to you? What kind of signal does it send to you?
Younger generation is our future, and education play a key role in actually how we educate them to deal with different situations, so we myself in particular, we look at how our education system here down in Macau, right from primary school, secondary school to high school to the university, what the society can do, what the family can do, and what the individual student they need to do. So when we see those as a university, what do we need to do for them, and we need to help to understand the big picture first of all, what is happening around the world, what is happening in China, in Great Barrier, and in Macau, and for them to understand that some of the issues are globally, some of the issues are regionally, and some are locally, and secondly, for them to understand that as younger generations, we need to be responsible, and in particular, for Macau, we're around one country, two systems. What that does mean to Macau or to the Macau younger generations in terms of the development of Macau itself, and also each individual's relations and their future.